we're going to get on to showing you some of the other steering assembly components here that you may need to change. So part number M1814 is what we have here, which includes, well, your servo retainer plate right there, your top plate. We just reused the old one, but it does come with one, so we might as well mention it. We have your Ackerman plate and your steering posts, and they are pre-assembled, which is nice. And that's actually nice about the servo as well. The servo horn and servo saver were pre-assembled. There's another little piece here. I'm not quite sure what it's for yet, but I'm sure once we get it apart here, it'll make sense. So to get at these components, like I mentioned in the first part of this video, I believe we're going to have to strip the front here and take the top diff cover off to have access to the steering post to remove them. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to remove the LEDs. They just pull out from the back side. So we'll get those removed like that. Just kind of push them aside for now. And we're going to get this front bumper assembly off. So it looks like we've got 4 screws on the bottom, 2 screws on the front right there. And I think that will get it off for us. So we'll get those off. Okay, that does get our front bumper off with those 6 screws. Alright, so that kind of gives us a little bit more visibility here now as well. And I believe we are also going to have to take the shock tower off. I'm not sure if we need to necessarily disassemble the shocks, but we'll start by taking these 4 screws out right here. And I believe these 2 screws out here, and we'll see where we get. Having a little problem getting that one out. You can see these screws are only threaded right at the end here near the head. It's kind of a pin almost that holds the upper A-arms in. And the reason I did it this way is I believe we're going to be able to leave the shocks mounted. I don't like to take anything apart that I don't have to. If I can get away with making a few shortcuts, I'm going to do it to save myself a little bit of time. You can see, yeah, you can just see the A-arms, upper A-arms, the dog bones. We can take the dog bones right out if we want to. Just like that. We can take them right out. There we go. Give us some room. Now we've got some room to work there. Now we're still trying to get at the steering posts, which are back here. So like I initially thought, I still believe we need to take off the top of the diff cover here and the stiffening plate.
I'm going to bring in my stand here, and I think this is going to allow me to keep it a little bit nicer for you guys to see here. So these 2, and I'll show you a little, not a trick, but a tip I guess you could call it, here in a minute. I understand it's hard to keep track of screws sometimes, so I like sometimes just to put the screws back where they came out of. Just like that. Now I know those screws go into that piece there. Next, we've got a couple screws on either side there, so we're going to get those out. And this is not a difficult repair. These hay-boxing RCs, they do come apart quite easily in my opinion. There we go. We'll throw our diff screws over here. Now, where does that get us now? We've got 2 screws right in front of the LED connection there on the stiffening plate. Get those out. We're getting close to getting access to the steering post. Alright, so that, and I believe we're going to have to undo these 2. These are the 2 that I had you undo earlier when we changed out the servo, and that was just to create some space. So we'll take those 2 out, and I think we've got them all out that we need to get out for the moment. Let's see.
There we go. Diff cover pops off. I still have the LEDs connected, but I'm not... what I'm just going to do is we're going to unplug the LEDs right from the ESC. Just like that. And there, I can just kind of set that aside. And while you have this open, now's the perfect time, guys. I can't stress enough with any RC is, you can see there's sufficient amount of grease in there. If not, grease it up while you have it open. Take that opportunity. All right, so let's see where we're at now. We're still accessing the steering posts, which are right there. We're going to take the linkage off right here now, which is attached to the steering post. So we're going to take the linkage off on both sides. That is something that's obvious now. So we'll take that off, and that just unscrews. I'm just going to let everything drop down there. There we go. And see, I didn't take everything apart. I left what I could together there, which is kind of like what I like to do. And now, to get at, you can just see the steering posts are just held in with these pins. And you can just lift them out. Now we do have the steering linkage right here that we can take out. With that screw there, we can pull, you can actually just pull the pin out and take this out as one piece. I'm going to put the pin in momentarily. And we're just going to fish this through. There we go. Steering posts and the Ackerman plate. We were able just to remove those, no issues at all. So let's get the new one in. We've got our orientation all set now with the old one there. We know how it wants to go in. We know which way it goes. We're just going to feed it through. We were able to get the old one out, so we should be able to feed that new one through. Might be a little, no, not too difficult at all. There we go, we've got it through now. We're going to pull the pins, and then we're going to get the steering posts in place. Slide our pin down through the top, through the steering post, and just got to line it up with the hole underneath it there. There we go, same with this one. Perfect. Take our screw here. That screw goes like that, so your linkage goes over the top. Screw goes through the linkage. And into your steering post. Just got to get it lined up here. That should be good. Perfect. And that's it, guys. We've got the parts changed out now. Now we just got to go in reverse order from the way we took it out. We just got to put everything back together now, reverse order. We got everything installed. We got the cover back on. Let's power up the transmitter. Let's power up the 18859, and let's check out that steering. Perfect. Works awesome. All right, guys, we're going to leave it at that for right now. Hopefully this will help some of you guys out who need to change out your steering servo or maybe even some of the components of the steering assembly there. Big thanks again to Highboxing for teaming up with me on this one. You guys like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate hit that subscribe button before you head out. And remember, don't be a stranger. We'll see you on the next one. See ya.